This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Ransomware attack. 2 months after it happened, Nova Scotia Power's president addresses a cyber breach of customers' private information. Smelly situation. Residents of 2 valley towns raise a stink about the odor from a nearby sewage plant. And hanging up the hammer. A fixture in the Cape Breton construction and restoration sector is retiring after almost 40 years.
I know that weather is subjective, but I think it's fair to say today's nor'easter brought an unpleasant wrap to the work week. As for how the weekend is shaping up, I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Good evening. We now know the cyber incident reported by Nova Scotia Power last month is a ransomware attack. The utility confirmed the development in a post on its website this morning. Its statement said that hackers who stole data from its systems have published it. Gareth Hampshire has the latest.
Nova Scotia Power is describing the ransomware attack as a sophisticated one, with as many as 280,000 customers affected so far. It also says data stolen from its systems has now been published on the dark web. But the utility's president, who spoke to CBC News, says there has been no ransom payment.
Based on expert advice, including law enforcement at all levels, we've made the decision that we have not paid.
How it was able to happen in the first place is something that's now being investigated. Nova Scotia Power has been sending out letters to affected customers explaining the types of stolen data varies, but may have included sensitive information like bank account numbers.
I don't think very much of this. I don't know what to think of this.
It's addressed, "Dear valued customer," but Smith feels it's lacking transparency.
They didn't come out and say that my information was stolen or anything like that. They said that my personal information was stored on impacted servers, which I had to read twice because I wasn't actually sure if I was affected or not.
Many others getting the letter are sharing their frustration on social media. A cybersecurity expert understands why people are upset.
It doesn't actually say, what we were the custodians of that information, which we asked you to provide to us. What it says is, well, you provided us some data, so whatever data was stolen is the data that you shared with us. And that's a little disappointing.
He's the author of Canada's Cyber Fraud Handbook and says criminals could use people's information to commit identity fraud or even take over bank accounts.
Hackers can hijack online utility accounts and change billing addresses or add devices or any number of those things that are lacking from that letter.
Peter Gregg says he knows those receiving the letters are concerned and says the utility's providing updates when it has accurate information while working to tighten its defenses in the future. Gareth Hampshire, CBC News, Halifax.
A correction now to a story we aired earlier this week as part of our continuing coverage of the Pat Stay murder trial. Adam Drake is charged with second-degree murder in Stay's death. Wednesday, we reported that on the night he was killed, police arrested a man named Karam McCool and charged him with murder. While police did arrest McCool, he was never charged, and we apologize for the error. Today marks 3 weeks since 2 young children were reported missing from rural northeastern Nova Scotia, and police have not said if they found any evidence indicating the whereabouts of Lily and Jack Sullivan. 6-year-old Lily and her 4-year-old brother Jack were reported missing from their home in Lansdowne Station on May 2nd. RCMP say they believe the siblings wandered away from their home. Extensive searches have been conducted in the dense woodlands. Search efforts were scaled back after the RCMP announced there was little chance the siblings could have survived. Last weekend, however, a renewed search focused on specific areas near the family home. The search for the kids has taken a toll on the hundreds of people looking.
Well, everybody's going through their own challenges. A lot of our members have kids of their own, so obviously that makes it more challenging. And again, there's feelings of fatigue, stress, anxiety, but overall I think the group's doing really well. Yeah, I mean, I've been impressed with our group. We have an incredibly resilient team.
RCMP have also received trail cam footage spanning days before the siblings were reported missing. CBC News requested an interview with the RCMP, but the force declined to respond. Residents in New Minas and Kentville are raising a big stink about an overwhelming odor. The persistent smell comes from a nearby sewage plant. The CBC's Meg Campbell has that story.
Stink, stank, stunk. But that might be putting it mildly when describing the smell in Kentville and New Minas. So I asked residents to describe it for me.
It's like if your toilet was backed up really bad and you couldn't flush it. That is the smell.
Like a mix of, I want to say, rotten eggs, rotted cabbage, rotting meat.
It smells like burning garbage combined with, I'll quote our 7-year-old granddaughter, 5-year-old bad milk and spoiled meat.
The sewage plant in New Minas is causing the strong odor, which has been making unwelcome visits to the area for the last several years. Dawn Noakes lives in New Minas and runs a business in Kentville. She says Kings County has conducted repairs to the plant in the past, but based on the returning smell, something more needs to be done.
Citizens were tired. We want it fixed. We spend our tax money and we can't even use our properties.
The odor is deterring people from spending time outside and is also causing health repercussions.
It can get to a point where it's making people physically sick, myself included. We get headaches and nausea, and it's just, it's not a good scene. And where I myself have asthma, it's been rough.
The municipality of the County of Kings told CBC the smell is caused by the lack of oxygen in one of the lagoons at the plant, and they are working to resolve this issue. Residents like Robin Joyce think something more is causing the smell.
Lots of more people are moving in, and I believe that our little towns with their septic system the way it is, and a lot of them are probably very outdated. They don't have the infrastructure in order to, upkeep all the 200 more or so toilets that are flushing.
And until this problem is rectified, Joy says Kentville's slogan has become outdated.
I really feel it's like a breath of foul air at the moment.
In the meantime, the people who live here have to hold their breath waiting for a solid solution. Meg Campbell, CBC News, Kentville.
All right, Jay, it was a wet and wild end to the work week with that nor'easter.
Yeah, I can't believe we're talking about a nor'easter in late, and it is late May. This is something typically, I think, come March, early April, we're usually done talking about this type of storm, but most of the year, though, this is one of our more common big weather events. Did bring some, if you're a few rumbles today, some heavier downpours. Did see some strong winds. Certainly in parts of the province, those winds did top 100 kilometers per hour. We'll go over that in just a moment. And temperatures were cool to boot. So it was cool, it was wet, it was windy. That is on brand for a nor'easter. It's just nor'easters are not really on brand for this time of the year. They happen in every month, but not the most common May storm. Now, we will continue to see conditions winding down through the evening hours, although as the wind continues to drop off later this evening and overnight, 20 to 40 kilometers per hour is brisk enough that any fog that develops should be patchy, but we may see some more widespread fog developing into the morning hours to start your Saturday. So just be mindful if you're up early or out driving late this evening. Visibility may be reduced in places, and there's a very slight shower chance, more likely some drizzle persisting overnight as well. I'm not ruling out breaks of sunshine, but I think for most of the day, we can expect mainly cloudy to overcast conditions. And afternoon into the evening for the HRM, we will be looking at a return to possibly some more scattered showers, and late day, even some more fog into the mix. So Saturday not looking too great. Sunday, I think will leave folks wanting as well. But I will help satisfy that with some sunnier, warmer weather in the 7-day forecast a little later.
Just requires a bit of patience.
Yes.
Okay.
We have to practice our patience. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks, Jay. Well, health advocates say there must be enhanced efforts by the provincial government to help lower youth vaping rates. The calls come as the most recent available data shows that 39% of Nova Scotia students in grades 10 to 12 say they have vaped. Michael Gorman reports.
With some of the highest youth vaping rates in the country, advocates are calling on the provincial government to do more. They say there needs to be more enforcement and prevention efforts and programs for young people who find themselves getting addicted to nicotine through vaping.
That we continue to have major concerns about, again, seeing what happened 50 years ago when it came to tobacco happening again right in front of our eyes with vaping and our youth and getting addicted to the product.
McDonald and other advocates are also calling for sales to be restricted to specialty shops and the minimum purchase age increased to 21. This policy analyst with the Canadian Cancer Society wants the province to dedicate some of the $800 million it will receive through a tobacco settlement toward increased efforts to reduce youth vaping.
The government's going to be receiving money over the next 20 or 30 years. This is an opportunity that cannot be missed to reduce health effects, disease, and also healthcare costs. So it's a win-win for the province if it's done.
The province's chief medical officer of health says there are two risks he's concerned about. The first is that vaping serves as a gateway for young people to start smoking. The other has to do with developing information.
We're also seeing emerging evidence of vaping itself. So people who have never smoked, young people with developing vaping-specific lung damage. And this is only within a few years of using the product. So there's a myth out there that vaping is safe. It is not.
A statement from Health Minister Michelle Thompson says the government is using social media ads to target young people with awareness campaigns. She says her department is reviewing research on increasing the legal age to buy tobacco and vape products. Michael Gorman, CBC News, Halifax.
Halifax plans to finish its bike network in 3 years. The system is currently about 60% finished and already overdue. Recent data shows about 12% of Haligonians biked to work last year. Annika Riopel, a sustainable transportation coordinator with the Ecology Action Centre, says a complete network will get more people biking and out of cars.
At the end of the day, this is a drop in the bucket in the municipal budget. And so I think traffic is one of those things that everyone is mad about and everyone wants fixed. And this is a step to fixing that problem. And it doesn't matter if you're a councillor for on the peninsula or off the peninsula, like it impacts our entire city when things are gridlocked.
The total bike network price tag has jumped to about $93 million. Halifax has about $66 million left to pay over the next few years. A local businessman in Cape Breton is retiring after almost 40 years in the construction and restoration sector. As the CBC's Kyle Moore tells us, the last decade has included the aftermath of Hurricane Fiona and the Thanksgiving flood of 2016.
For many Cape Bretoners, Hurricane Fiona is a weather event they'll never forget. The same can be said for many businesses and people who had to deal with the cleanup after the major storm, including Gary Chant, owner of Miko Construction DKI in Glace Bay, who is set to retire at the end of May.
It's overwhelming, of course. You're sitting back with everything's going just so, and then all of a sudden you're dealt 100 plus claims. It gets pretty heated at times.
Chan says over the last 10 to 15 years, his company has had to deal with quite a few weather events, including the 2016 flood in Sydney that dumped more than 240 millimeters of rain on the area in less than 24 hours, destroying homes and infrastructure.
Amounted to about 800 claims in 3 weeks, which was bizarre. We had companies from all around in helping out, and then we had Fiona not too long ago, and a major freeze up not 4 or 5 months after Fiona.
But soon his career and all those disasters will all just be a memory. He looks back to where it began, in his backyard, working out of his garage with one employee.
I got very busy. I was working 7 days a week, as I did starting a business. Laurie was busy helping me and raising 3 daughters further on. And of course she did the bulk of that while I was out sawing boards and drumming up work.
His business quickly grew to more than 40 employees, and so did the location. He now owns state-of-the-art equipment to help deal with whatever Mother Nature throws his way. But through it all, he's most proud of the work he's been able to do in the community to give back.
I dealt a lot with various organizations, the Hospital Foundation, the Food Bank, several ALS, Parkinson's Society, Diabetes Society, MS. I gave a lot back to a lot of different groups.
I don't know if I'm going to follow exactly in his footsteps, but yeah, I'm going to carry on basically in the same manner we have been all along, all through the years. You know, it worked for Gary, and it'll continue to work.
Troy McDonald has been by Chan's side for 25 years and will soon take over the ownership role. Chan says he owes his success to his family and dedicated employees.
I was very fortunate because my employees are very loyal, and I had the best employees ever. So it's been great, but it's tired. I'm tired now, and I'm moving on to another chapter in my life.
Kyle Moore, CBC News, Glace Bay.
Today marked the one-year anniversary of the opening of the Jordan Boyd Inherited Heart Disease Clinic at the QE2. It's named after 16-year-old Jordan Boyd, who died on the ice during training camp with the Acadie Bathurst Titans in 2013. After his death, his family learned his death was the result of inherited heart disease. His parents, Stephen and Debbie Boyd, set up a foundation in his name to raise funds for research and to raise awareness about the condition. They've raised over $1 million. They were at the clinic today to mark the anniversary. Debbie Boyd also had some tests done. It was discovered she also has the condition. Jordan's father says the clinic's work is important.
Our work's not done. We want to continue both as a family and through a foundation we've established in Jordan's name, the Jordan Boyd Foundation, to continue to work with the QE2 Foundation and the Inherited Heart Disease Clinic to expand and continue to expand the services perhaps that they're able to offer and the impact that they're able to make. And we also do work out in the community in terms of advocacy around the importance of AEDs and knowing CPR, and we'll continue to do those things.
Today would have been Jordan Boyd's 28th birthday. Last night, we shared the stories of two people who harvest elvers under their community's fishery plan. But other communities, like Bucknageg First Nation, chose not to participate. Some are worried about how harvesting elvers could impact the adult eel populations. CBC Indigenous reporter Sissa Mohan reports.
Here at Wellneg back in 1993, Donald Marshall Jr. was caught and charged for fishing eels out of season and without a license. His case eventually made its way to the Supreme Court and led to the 1999 decision affirming Mi'kmaq people's treaty rights to harvest fish and wildlife for a moderate livelihood.
So Donald, he brought recognition to our rights, a commercial part of it. And so today a lot of us are fishing under Marshall, with moderate livelihood.
Carrie Prosper, former chief of Bucknageg, the closest community to Wellneg, gave Marshall permission to harvest eels that day in '93. Today, some Mi'kmaq people fish elvers, baby eels, and say they have a right to do so through their moderate livelihood harvesting rights. But does this constitute moderate livelihood?
When Marshall was here, they were abundant. You were able to get a canoe full of eels. And yeah, he was selling them, but he wasn't catching babies. He wasn't taking them by the thousands. When it comes to people saying moderate livelihood, well, that right was recognized by eels. It was eels that brought our rights back. And then here you are abusing them, abusing that same animal that brought those rights back. Eels, they're in the center of it.
To be a part of the economy, how do we become a part of it other than going along with something that's wrong sometimes, or trying to do what's right and through a treaty right, and yet struggle to actually do it and get it done in a good way, to really actually make a living, and feel good about it, about your living, and yet being sustainable at what we're trying to do.
Prosper's community, Bucknageg, is one of the only Mi'kmaq communities that chooses not to participate in the Elver fishery. Both Caden and Carrie hope for the fishery to be stopped completely, citing the cultural importance of eel and noticing a sharp decline in the population.
And a lot of the times when our elders were passing away, they'd request eel stew to be one of their last meals because it holds memories. Food is a really big part of culture, and eels hold a lot of memories for a lot of people. Not as much anymore, but it did, and to me, it does.
When I think about Ndugalim and our connection to all of life here, and I've walked them on to wide scene, I see it in their the management plans, but I don't see it in their mind. I don't see it in their heart. I don't see it in their culture. I don't see it in how they do things. And that's what we're missing. You know, the eel, it's a very important spiritual part of us. All Mi'kmaq, and I think we're going to need that in the future.
Sisimohan, CBC Indigenous, Boknagag.
There's some brightness for your wet Friday. Jay will be up next with your full weather forecast. We'll see you in just a few.
The weather update is brought to you by Tourisme Gaspésie. Plan your stay in Gaspésie at tourismegaspésie.com and enjoy extraordinary moments.
All right, Jay's back with the full weather, and it wasn't just the rain, but the wind that came with it.
Yeah, we saw pretty strong winds across much of mainland Nova Scotia, really coastal areas up into Cape Breton. This is where the strongest winds were. And then you talk about the sweat winds. These are the downsloping winds from elevation. And that wind typically happens when we have a strong easterly component. And we did see that today. So you do still have that wind warning, at least for the next couple of hours. Will likely end later this evening as we look up towards Bay St. Lawrence, Margaret Harbour. And the Grand Etang weather station there did clock already a wind gust of, I believe, 104 kilometers per hour. So those winds really, really, really rocking as we look to parts of Cape Breton. That rain still falling quite heavily there as well. Rumble of thunder, can't rule that out, but that should diminish over the next couple of hours. And then we'll watch for the wind to, it's still brisk, but it gradually begins to diminish tonight into tomorrow. And we will watch for not so much rain showers, but more likely drizzle, fog, and mist developing for most areas through the overnight hours tonight. There will still be some rain through the evening hours, still fairly heavy at times for parts of eastern Cape Breton. And as we look to the overnight hours across mainland Nova Scotia, you do still have a scattered shower chance as well, just a better chance for some fog or drizzle to start your Saturday. Can't rule out some breaks of sunshine in the morning. Those clouds do start to build back in for the Halifax area gradually through the afternoon as well. We see these little convective showers bubbling up as that area of low pressure continues to diminish, but it's still with us. The remnants or a weakened version of that area of low pressure that was the more powerful nor'easter that brought the heavier rain, the stronger winds today. As we move into Saturday evening, the showers, the fog continue, and then into Sunday as the low is departing to the east, we could see a few more pockets of light to moderate rain, more likely often on showers through the day, and that will be across mainland Nova Scotia and into Cape Breton as well. The system will be exiting the region. That's the important thing to stress. And we do have some nicer temperatures ahead and nicer conditions ahead as well when we get to your 7-day forecast. So into the long-range outlook, into the middle of next week, I think folks will be very happy with what they're about to see. Certainly after today and the last couple of days have been on the cooler side. The weekend really not shaping up to be that great at all. So for the overnight hours tonight, mainly cloudy conditions to overcast conditions. There is still a shower chance, more likely drizzle, fog to set up tonight. And those fog patches could become quite dense in places. I'm not expecting widespread fog across the province as the wind will still be brisk enough to help mitigate that. But where the fog does manage to form could be quite dense into the morning hours tomorrow. We'll see a few breaks of sunshine at times, but the showers will be building back in with that low through the day. So for the Halifax area, it's likely into the afternoon. You could see it earlier down to the South Shore region. It may hold off a little longer for more eastern areas, but you're likely to see those showers returning late in the day as well. And as you can see, temperatures will still be on the cool side for your Saturday. Sunday is going to be cool as well. And as we take a look at the next 3 days, we'll still be below that seasonal average, even into your Monday. So there's a look at how your weekend is shaping up. Breaks of sunshine possible on Saturday, less likely for the province on Sunday. And do watch for morning fog. I should also put that chance in for Sunday as well. Really, as we look to a Saturday night into early Sunday, we could see some more fog setting up. But as we move beyond Monday, so into next week, Tuesday, into Wednesday, into Thursday, this is where we finally start to see more in the way of that sunshine, almost uninterrupted sunshine on Tuesday. But look at the daytime highs, 20 for inland areas. Even warmer possible for some spots. Could be cooler downwind of the water, but 20 on Tuesday. Warmer conditions Wednesday, Thursday as well. And we do see some wet weather building back in late next week, but those temperatures looking to stay, at least the daytime highs for inland areas, potentially at or above 20. So I think Mother Nature owes us one, and it looks like she's going to pay us back with a few decent days next week. Yeah. Just got to get through another not-so-great weekend, maybe.
All right, well, something to look forward to indeed. Yeah. All right, thank you, Jay. Coming up, I'll speak with the president of Nova Scotia Power about the utility's recent cyber breach affecting thousands of customers. Nova Scotia Power is confirming it was the victim of what it's calling a sophisticated ransomware attack. It said the, quote, threat actor published data stolen from its systems. The utility has mailed out letters to customers whose personal data was compromised in the cyber breach. NSP is advising them to sign up for a free credit monitoring service as a precaution. I'm joined now by Peter Gregg, president of Nova Scotia Power. First off, how many Nova Scotia Power customers were affected, and what type of information was stolen?
First, Amy, thanks very much for having me here today to provide some information. I want to say that I want to confirm that we were the victims of a sophisticated ransomware attack. And that means that some of our data was stolen by the sophisticated actor. And to directly answer your question, approximately 280,000 of our customers, we believe, had data that was stolen from our systems.
What kind of data? Is it addresses? Is it banking information?
Yeah,
what is
so
it?
we've advised those customers, it could be a range of data. So it could be an address, it could be an account number. There could be some banking information in there, and so we wanted to be as exhaustive as we could in terms of what could be there, and then advise customers that we're offering 2 years of paid credit monitoring services and encouraging anyone who gets a letter from us to do that. Please sign up for those services.
Well, we've heard from one person who did sign up for the 2 years, and they signed under TransUnion 2 days ago, received a notice of a security breach on his information from the dark web. What is Nova Scotia Power going to do to support somebody like him and other customers besides just, giving them an opportunity to see they've been
That's new information to me,
Right.
but I enjoy the opportunity to connect with that customer to see how we can help in addition to that. And so our call center lines are open. We have agents available. So I encourage any customers that have concerns, please do give us a call and we'll work with you to address those concerns.
But what can you do if somebody's identity's been stolen or?
It's really, I think the advice is, get that credit monitoring service in place so that you are notified immediately if someone is trying to use your information that would require your credit. Do that. That's the best protection you can do in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Now, the utility says the information was published. Where was it published?
Yeah, so our third-party cyber experts have advised us that certain data has been published and published on the dark web. I'm not a cyber expert, and that's probably as far as I can go. Investigation is ongoing to see what more we can learn.
What do you know about these people? Do you know anything?
What I can share is it's a very sophisticated threat actor, so we're referring to them. We're responding in kind, but beyond that, not a lot of details I can share at this point.
Now, there was a statement saying there was no money paid out, but was there a ransom requested?
So it was a ransomware attack, which means there was a request, but based on expert advice, including law enforcement at all levels, we made the decision we have not paid.
Okay, so your organization learned about this on April 25th?
Yes.
I think the first posting we were able to find was April 27th. Is that transparent and responsive to your ratepayers?
We have made efforts to be transparent, but and so we did come out as quickly as we could. And the principle behind this was always to go out with what we know, not what we think. And so we wanted to make sure we had facts, and that's sort of along the several weeks we've been in this, and part of what informs why I'm here today. We've got new information to share, and so not to speculate, but to make sure we're sharing truth, facts, and we'll do that. And we've been coming out, we've been making sure to point media to our webpage whenever we do have new information out there, and then I will make myself available at the appropriate times as well.
Now, this will be expensive to deal with. Will that be passed on to ratepayers?
No, we anticipate, so we have cyber insurance, cybersecurity insurance in place. We're working very closely with that provider, and we anticipate that our insurance should be sufficient.
Now, why don't you think your security was good enough to not let this happen?
It's a great question. I think it is a bit of the evolving nature of what's happening in the world. We do have sophisticated cyber protections in place. We're critical infrastructure. and we do invest in that. I think what we've got at this point is we've got a very sophisticated threat actor who was able to get through, again, onto our information technology systems, not the operations side of the business, which really affects back office systems. And we're in an active investigation to see what we can learn from that to make sure that our defenses are as secure as possible.
Well, how do you do that? How do you, what are you going to do to make sure this doesn't happen again?
So they're, again, working with our experts to identify what indeed happened. We made some immediate changes to how our posture is, our cybersecurity posture is. And as the investigation continues, we'll continue to learn from that. But it is, in the cybersecurity realm, it's not a one and done. You can't sort of say, I've made this investment and I'm good now. It is a constant evolution of working with the best expert you can to make sure you've got the best posture possible.
You mentioned talking to authorities, working with authorities.
Yes.
Who in particular?
All I can say is all law enforcement agencies, basically at all levels.
Mm-hmm. Now, you learned about this back in March. I'm wondering why this is the first time you or anybody from NSP has actually answered questions on this. We've had statements, but nobody's come forward with...
So a little bit of background on that. We learned about this on the 25th of April. That's when we saw the first impacts of this. As we dug into that, again, with our own internal experts and external experts, we then determined that the first infiltration into our system was back in March. And that is common. There'll be an infiltration point, but then the action doesn't happen until later on. So that's how that happened. Again, we've been making steps to make sure we're getting out with information. And I think and hope we've been acting transparently and as quickly as we can. We're committed to continuing that. And I just felt with the information we had today that it's time for me to come out and talk about it.
But it's been nearly a month, more than a month, almost nearly a month since
we have been communicating through our regular channels, updating our website, through social media, communicating directly with customers who are impacted as well through those letters, encouraging them to sign up for the credit monitoring.
And what is your message to customers going forward?
Message is, listen, we know if you're receiving one of those notices from us, we know you're concerned, and we apologize for that. But please sign up for the credit monitoring. If you've got other concerns, our call center is open. Give us a call. I also want to say that we've waived any kind of late bill payment charges as we work through that. And so our commitment is to work with our customers to make sure they get the best information that we have available, make sure they get that credit monitoring, and also know that we're doing our best to make sure we restore the systems as quickly as possible.
All right. Well, thank you for the update. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Coming up, Canada Post workers remain on the job, but for how long as a potential strike looms? Welcome back. Canada Post is still delivering the mail after threatening to start a general strike. The union is considering an offer, but as Thomas Dagler reports, in the meantime, customers may experience delays.
Yes, that letter or parcel is still on its way, at least for now, after a last-minute decision by the Canadian Union of Postal Workers to call off a full-blown strike, a move that threatened to disrupt all deliveries beginning today.
We want a fair collective agreement that is workable for the post office.
The union is now telling its 55,000 members to boycott any overtime, leading Canada Post to warn some deliveries may be arriving late.
Their volumes are down considerably. Everything's gone to the competition, or they're holding on to it. And the further we prolong this, the longer they're going to wait. Nobody wants to get burned again.
Many customers hold bitter memories of holiday parcels delivered only after Christmas, with that month-long strike last year leaving Canada Post in limbo, and now serving a double whammy to small business owners like Don McCowan at his hobby shop in Toronto.
We don't have the nest egg. We lost that in the last strike. So it's harder for us this time than it was, back then.
He says the uncertainty is leading to a drop in his online sales and profits. Both Canada Post and the union blame each other for not budging in brief talks on Thursday night, with weekend work one key sticking point, and Cup W staunchly opposing their employer's plan for a separate part-time workforce.
This has been a non-starter from the union from the beginning, and I'm just not sure how you get around that as we go forward.
The Postal Service handed the union a 750-page package of offers earlier this week, and that's still on the table. For now, the union will only say it's still reviewing those proposals. Thomas Dagg, CBC News, Toronto.
U.S. President Donald Trump has the European Union in his crosshairs now, threatening 50% tariffs on imports in a social media post. Aaron Collins reports from Washington.
In this U.S. president's roller coaster trade war with pretty much everyone on the planet, things seem to be picking up steam again. Donald Trump posting on social media today that he was frustrated with the trade deficit between the U.S. and the EU. The president pushing a familiar fix in that post, tariffs. Trump saying he wanted to see a 50% tariff on the 27-nation trading bloc by June 1st. Of course, this comes as the EU and U.S. are locked in trade relation negotiations. Here is the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, speaking on Fox News today.
The president believes that the EU proposals have not been of the same quality that we've seen from our other important trading partners. Well, I'm not going to negotiate on TV, but I would hope that this would light a fire under the EU.
This kind of tariff threat starting to become a familiar part of the Trump negotiating strategy, and reaction from Europe has been swift but measured so far, perhaps picking up on the rhythm of a Trump trade negotiation. The Polish trade minister saying that some negotiations are going on behind closed doors, while others are more public, a nod to Trump's social media posts. And he went on to say that Europe has noticed that not all of the U.S. threats on trade necessarily materialize, something policy analysts in the EU have picked up on too.
I think there's significant uncertainty on whether they will happen. But one thing is clear, if they happen, it means a major, major disruption to the transatlantic economy, which is going to be very bad for the US, for US consumers, and very bad for European consumers and European producers in particular.
So analysts unsure if these tariff threats will materialize, but certain if they do, it will be damaging to both economies. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Washington.
Gaza's health ministry says more than 50 Palestinians are dead or missing after an Israeli airstrike. It says a residential building was struck. Meanwhile, aid has started getting into the territory as international pressure mounts on Israel to allow in more aid more quickly. Crystal Gomansing reports.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres says without rapid, reliable, safe, and sustained aid access, more people will die in Gaza.
All the aid authorized until now amounts to a teaspoon of aid,
when a flood of assistance is required.
It's not just the UN calling for increased access. A German government spokesperson said today access to aid has been, quote, too little, too late, and too slow. On Monday, Israel began allowing some aid to enter. Late Wednesday, the first shipments were collected and distribution got underway. Young people are the most vulnerable, according to the Canadian head of Save the Children.
What is happening in Gaza today is a profound moral failure. It's one of the most devastating humanitarian crises of our generation, and children are paying the highest price. Nearly every child in Gaza today, more than 930,000 of them, is at risk of famine.
Mohammed Abu Daka told freelance videographer working for CBC in Gaza his brother's children were killed and questions who will help end the war. Canada, along with the UK and France, did issue a joint statement calling for a ceasefire, for humanitarian aid to be allowed in, and for all of the hostages to be released. It's believed 23 are still alive and being held in Gaza. The Canadian head of MSF and Doctors Without Borders says the government needs to put action behind its words, saying it should push for nations attending the upcoming G7 to commit to restoring humanity in Gaza. Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, have condemned Canada, France, and the UK for the statement, saying they are on the wrong side of history, equating the condemnation for Israel's enhanced military operations as support for Hamas. France rejected those accusations, as did the UK. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, London.
The Canadian women's ski jump team is in Calgary to kick off their Olympic season. They've made a rare trip there for a preseason health and fitness testing. As Dan McGarvey reports, they're very far from home.
The women from Canada's national team do some dry land jumps and physical tests and training, but they're only visitors here.
We live abroad in Slovenia, and so our main training base is in Slovenia. We jump Planica, Slovenia, which is my favorite hill. I won world championships on that hill in 2023.
The last time anyone jumped in Calgary was 2018, with no investment in facilities here, forcing the team to train far away.
The amount of passion you have to commit to moving abroad and uprooting your life to maybe have this workout is something that lots of athletes don't have, even though they're quite talented. So I think that's something really special about our team, is that we're all very committed to what we do.
Slovenia has the Summer Grand Prix and Winter World Cup ski jumping seasons. Some team members say being forced to live abroad, together away from friends and family, has brought the group closer.
An international family. Basically, we have a whole support system in Slovenia where we've been based for the last couple years, and our team, I think, has gotten a lot closer since we've been in close quarters, living abroad together and sort of being each other's support system. So that's definitely one of the good things that have come out of it.
The team now has its sights firmly set on medals and the prospect of competing in the Winter Games.
My biggest goal, obviously, is the Olympics. It's been my dream since I was a little kid, even before I was in ski jumping when I was a figure skater, and that's on the radar now, and then after that, we'll see.
The team says another big dream is to one day see ski jumping return to Canadian soil. Dan McGarvey, CBC News, Calgary.
The weather update is brought to you by Tourisme Gaspésie. Plan your stay in Gaspésie at tourismegaspésie.com and enjoy extraordinary moments.
All right, Jay is back. And Jay, so some wet weather on the weekend for sure, but not a total washout.
No, not a total wash. Certainly not like today. Today we did see some heavier pockets of rain. The wind really made the rain feel heavier too, really driving in those raindrops with that very gusty wind at times. Certainly for up into Cape Breton. Man, oh man, that was a very strong wind and will continue for the next few hours. But we'll continue to watch for that sky to partially clear through the evening hours. I'm not expecting too much of a clear sky because low-level cloud in the form of mist and fog that could come with some drizzle or a scattered shower will develop through the evening hours, overnight into tomorrow as well. And then as we look to Saturday through the day, you do see some showers kind of building in morning, working their way into the afternoon east towards the Halifax area. So your sunnier breaks will be mid-morning through maybe early afternoon. Then those clouds and the showers do return, and they continue to work east into the evening hours Saturday night. More clouds and showers and cooler temperatures too persisting into Sunday. I'm not trying to sell the weekend weather, but if I was, I'm doing a terrible job. I will say next week looks a lot better by comparison. So for the Halifax area, starting out 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, overcast conditions for 7 a.m., good chance for some fog and even some drizzle. That's very light precipitation possible. That wind from the south-southwest is still fairly brisk, 15 gusting as high as 25, 30 kilometers per hour. Hopefully that helps to mitigate any widespread fog. Once the fog does lift, we should see the breaks of sunshine mid-morning into the early afternoon possible. And the timing of this will be a little bit different depending on where you are in the province. But I'm thinking a good chance for some sun breaks, at least at times during the day. For Halifax, that would be through the middle part of the day. And then the clouds start to build back in mid to late afternoon with a chance of showers returning late afternoon into the early evening. So not a great forecast for your Saturday. More in the way of clouds and showers, a little steadier that cloud cover through your Sunday. And we'll see that wind kind of veering around to the north, keeping temperatures cool even into Monday as well. But Tuesday, Amy. Tuesday.
Mark it in the calendar.
Over 20 degrees, yeah.
All right. Have a great weekend, Jay. Thanks.
You too.
Well, some book lovers in Michigan have shown their appreciation for their small town bookstore in a unique way. In a scene reminiscent of Serendipity Books Relocate. A book brigade of around 300 people stood in two lines running along a sidewalk, passing each title directly to the correct shelves in the new store a block away. They moved the entire stock of over 9,000 books in less than 2 hours. And that's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.